I need you to remember that social media is not just about creating content and throwing it on people's news feeds and expecting them to do what you want them to do with it. It's also about being social. So even if you're running, say, lead generation or e-commerce, people will still be tagging their friends, asking comments, asking questions, making comments. Make sure that you do go on and that you respond to those. Also, all the messages in your inbox. I find nothing more rude than leaving a comment or a question on a page and nobody has responded or got back to you, or it takes them 2 to 3 weeks to get back to you. So when you're having a look at the type of things that you're going to be responding to, we're looking at not only just the comments on the posts, we're also looking at people who leave posts directly on the page. That also includes reviews. So doesn't matter if it is a negative or a positive review, it needs to have some sort of acknowledgement. I will go through the difference between positive and negative reviews and how we deal with those in a later section. But something else to remember is to look at tags. Now, your tags aren't going to come up in your notification in the normal page. What you're going to need to do is go and have a look at your community section in your tabs down the side. So when you're having a look at about, comments, posts, you have community. If you click on that community, you will see any posts that your page has been tagged in. Make sure you comment and respond in those too. People are trying to be social, so be social with them. There are different ways to respond to comments. So if you have a negative comment on a post, you have the ability to ban, hide, or delete. Well, delete is obvious. You literally go in, you delete that post and you send it off. But why would you delete or hide or ban? What is the difference between those? If I hide a post, basically what I'm doing is I am not allowing that post to go out to the public. So the person who posted that, as well as their friends and their direct community, will be able to see that comment. If you delete it, it's gone from Facebook completely. Why would I delete it and not, or why would I hide it and not delete it? Well, if someone has an issue with you and you need time to deal with that issue, or if it's someone who's constantly going on and having these negative things to say, you can hide that. If you went and deleted it, they're going to probably pick up that it's been deleted and they will go to a different format or a different forum to make those complaints, and they'll probably pick up that you've actually deleted it. So by hiding it, they still feel that their comments have been seen by you and they would still assume that they were public for other people to be able to see, but you are able to control that. At any point, you can go back and unhide it if you wanted to, or delete it further down the track when you feel that that person has calmed down or the situation has passed. You also have the ability to ban someone. So if you deleted the post, they can still find your page. If you hide, they will still be able to see their comment. But if you ban them, what that basically means is their comment will be hidden. It will still be on the page, but that person will not be able to see it. And that person will not be able to find your page at all. So if they come through and they search for you, you're gone. You do not exist for them anymore. Very much the same as if you banned a friend or an ex-friend. It's the same concept. So if you ever go and you're wanting to ban someone from the page because they've said something, make sure you ban them before you delete the comment. Because if you delete the comment, you're not going to be able to find them to ban them. So just a little quick one of that. And next we'll talk about positive and negative reviews. Now, with a negative review, there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot delete that review. Reviews are on your page and they're there to stay. And a review, by the way, is the same thing as a recommendation. So I think Facebook's moving away from reviews and using recommendations now. What you can do and what you should do with a negative review or recommendation is have a response. You need to go on there and at least respond to that person and let them know that you are aware that there is an issue and that you are going to deal with that issue. We need to get that issue offline as soon as we can. And when I mean offline, I don't necessarily mean phone call or face-to-face. It can be through your private messaging, but we need to get it away from the public. One of the easiest ways to do that is to ask someone for their name and their phone number or their contact details, because not a lot of people want to put that on a public forum. They will private message you those details. So it is very much easier to respond, ask them for those details, and then continue that conversation in a private forum. Now, the reason that we want to acknowledge but get it off the page is because they may be a massive issue. There may be something that they have a genuine comment about, or they may just be one of those people that is just there to cause trouble. By getting them private, we're able to continue the conversation and sort the issue out, or not, depending on what you decide to do. But if you get into a slinging match on Facebook where people can see it, it doesn't look good for your company. We need to make sure that you respond, get it off, and make sure that anybody else coming and having a look at reviews is going to go through and see that you've commented positively on all the good reviews. And when there's been an issue, that you have acknowledged it and that you're trying to make it better. Even if you're not if you've decided that this is not one that you want to get onto, at least the public is going to see that you have tried to make a difference. So really, really important that with your reviews that you are making sure that you are actually trying to make things better. Just a little something I wanted to add. I often get asked the question, how often should I be monitoring and responding? Well, it's quite simple. I don't expect you to be online all day, every day, watching what people are saying and responding as soon as they say something. Generally, if you wake up in the morning, check what's happening on your page, respond to it then, again, probably at lunchtime, again in the evening, then, most people are okay with that. It does depend on what sort of service you have though, because there are some situations where you would probably want to monitor and respond a little more often than that. What I suggest doing is downloading the app. So Facebook has a Pages app, which you can find on your app store. And if you set that to sending you notifications, as long as you have your mobile with you, you'll actually get a notification that comes up that tells you that someone has responded or tagged you in something or left your review. That's a really good way to be able to constantly be up to date with what's happening. But other than that, I still suggest maybe going on 3 or 4 times a day and just checking what happens. Now, if you're not going to be responding in the evenings or at night, make sure that you have your auto reminders on. So remember your auto responses. So when we were doing the page setup, you could go into your messages and put your timing. So if you really don't want to respond from 5 until 7 the next morning, then make sure that there is at least something going on, letting people know that you will be getting back to them during your business hours. Apart from that, take it as you would. Somebody walks into your store or leaves a message on your phone, how quickly would you respond to them? And that's pretty much the same concept. So good luck, and remember, this is social media. This is a conversation. Keep talking.